This would be an interesting edit if it happens, because the screen timed out right in the middle of me talking. And so that just shows you how raw this actually is. So if this goes somewhere, this certainly is a God thing then, because this is as rough as it's gonna get for a YouTube video. Anyhow, so what I was saying is these words, proactive peer support. I've kind of witnessed peer support, but I feel like it's sort of reactive peer support. There's a lot of times after something's happened. And so through my observations of being a firefighter myself, I have seen that pretty much through resource limitations, there isn't the ability for people to be proactive and really come to me on a regular basis and ask, hey, how am I doing? And really, anybody watching a channel, you don't have to be a firefighter to go up to your neighbor who maybe you've lived beside for 20 years and actually just ask them, hey, how you doing? At the grocery store, skip the self-checkout, go through the real checkout and just talk to the person doing your groceries and ask them how they're doing, where they're at in their day, if they've got any plans for the evening. And you watch people light up. We've gone into a digital era where more and more the human connection is being completely lost. And so really where this has come about is my heart has seen that, as much as when I signed up to become a firefighter, I thought that it was all about the excitement of riding on the truck and the fires and the sirens and rescuing people out of windows and stuff. And I never realized that the hardest decision I was ever going to have to make was caring more about my fellow worker's heart. Being the guy in the crew who says, how was your weekend? And then asking sometimes a second time, are you really okay? Are you sure you're okay? You want to have a coffee? And I never realized that rescuing the rescuer was going to become where my passion was. Intentionally trying to create something, hopefully nationwide, where first responders can show up to other first responders and just say, how are you actually doing? And can we have a coffee or whatever that thing is, for us to take a knee together and get real and share about the true struggles and the things we go through. It's no surprise to anybody that what police, fire, EMS, military, what they see and are exposed to out there sometimes is, it's difficult stuff. And as much as we say we love it, which is true, we've been wired for it and we've sort of been, I think, born for this, it takes its toll. Sometimes returning home as a dad or mom or getting in the house as who you were. My name is Russ. For many years, I think I completely had no idea anymore who Russ is. None, just lost. It just got lost. And I myself also, it'll be maybe a longer version of this at some point, because again, I need your feedback if this is even going the right direction before I ramble on for hours, and if you'd want to hear my whole story. But there's so much to my story where I myself journeyed into just the darkest pits of despair, not thinking that there was any way out, and super angry that I'd ever become a firefighter in the first place, thinking that I would never have any kind of identity and never know who Russ is anymore, and just lost in a dark space somewhere, thinking there was no way out, feeling totally alone. And out of all of these things, I've also just recently lost some fellow firefighters to some tragedy that's close to the timing of this video, and too close. Too many firefighter funerals too close together that just sort of poured gasoline on a fire that was already burning. And that's kind of the summative of where this is. I could say so much more as to what we're doing. I do have a GoFundMe link. I don't even know if it's on this YouTube page, maybe. I have a GoFundMe off my Instagram, RussReimer5353. We are working on building this We See You proactive peer support to hopefully go nationwide. And the idea would be finding like-minded first responders to do proactive peer support right where they're located. So this is about me having coffee over and over with somebody in Nova Scotia or BC when I'm in central Canada, but I'd like to go have a coffee with somebody in Nova Scotia to talk about what it's like to be like this in the station, to change us over to take care of ourselves. I've said to people recently, I could spend the next 20 years of my career, which yes, will put me at 45 years in the fire service if I do 20 more. But anyways, 20-year career complaining about what we don't have or the resources that we don't receive, that is impossible to place on any administration or the government or anybody else, because it's an impossible ask. So I could complain about what we don't have, or I could focus on the things that we should have and just go out there myself and create groups that we can get it for ourselves, and we take care of ourselves with peer support. If you're a regular watcher, not a first responder, this concept applies to the whole world. If humans would start caring about humans again, like actually caring, like actually seeing, hearing, telling people that they have purpose, that they have value, that they have meaning, this would be a very, very different world that we would be living in. In a lot of ways, we have become so turned in from our own hurts and pains that we're hurting others, and we become so absorbed in self that we have completely lost sight of the way we began and the way that we are to finish. The only thing that's going to matter at the end of time is how we journeyed in relationships, the hearts of the people around us, those conversations. And it isn't always about being hung up, having to take a long time as well. Like sometimes, yeah, we're busy, we got to do stuff, we have the pressure of finances and so on and so forth. But even just asking somebody how they're doing, which takes seconds for them to answer, can make a world of a difference for that person for the rest of the day, because you saw them, they felt seen. And I'm a firm believer that, especially when it comes to things like first responders taking their own lives, if they truly feel seen and heard, it's gonna start walking them back from the ledge just a little further. I can't profess that this type of thing is gonna completely stop this from happening in people's lives, but it is certainly gonna make a difference. So I'd love your support in any way, shape, and form. Anything, even right now. I mean, financially, we need a lot of help because we have nothing. And I with the amount of comments and messages I've been getting off Instagram, it's turned into more than a full-time job that I really can't manage currently being in all these other jobs and doing that. So I really hope there's a plan where I could be like this all the time and be supported in it. So your support on the GoFundMe would be amazing. But more than anything right now, I need you to have seen me. I need you to have heard me, and I hope you can get past the roughness of this video, because this is probably not well done by any standards. One thing I will share about me that's not going to change, and I'm never going to change it. It'll be my thing, and if I'm called to do this, then I'm called to do it, and it'll work. Not because of me, but because of powers that are much higher than I am, and so you get the raw deal. This won't be edited, other than maybe that one spot where we have to merge together where I got cut off on the screen. But I don't script nothing. This just came out of my heart right now. I didn't rehearse this. I didn't write this down. I didn't think about it. I hit record, and this is what you get. I'm the same way on Instagram. You're going to get what you get. I think one thing that is refreshing, at least for me, is I think there's a lot of narcissistic nonsense on some of the platforms where it really is just, yeah, you want to escape and waste some time. And that's fine. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong once in a while just sitting down and burning time, but a lot of it is so scripted and not real that it kind of grows old. And so hopefully it's fresh to you that I'm as raw and real as it gets, and we're never going to edit that. I'm never going to edit what I do or what I say, I guess, unless I've really politically gone somewhere I shouldn't. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because I'm completely unscripted here. We do also hope that I'm going to start trying to do interviews with the people that have been impacted by my stuff, by the videos I've posted, by the people that I've reached. Behind the scenes, there are some people whose lives were in some real critical spots that were changed because of something I posted, which is why I'm doing this now. So I'm hoping to create, I guess, an interview set up here on the YouTube channel where I would chat with those people. I need your feedback. Would you like that? As a watcher, would you like to meet some of the people that I have had impact on and hear them share their story while I just journey along, questioning them, probably in the same form as a podcast or something along those lines? Anyways, I think it's really important to involve you as a watcher I hope that if we build a channel that, like others have said, we build a community around this, and then all of you are going to be part of this movement, which is directly to rescue the rescuer, going after the hearts of first responders so that when they show up to your door to serve you, their cups are more full. They have more in the tank, more empathy, and more of the ability to do their job to continue serving the towns, cities, and communities that they are placed in. And it also hopefully will help them be able to go home and transition to Russ or to whoever they are, to be a dad, a husband, a father, a mom, a sister, a brother, that they're able to not have to just sit in the car in the garage with it running, trying to think, how am I going to go from what I've just been doing into the home and play with my kids? And so come along on the journey with We See You Proactive Peer Support. Come along and help me rescue the rescuer. And again, feedback on this particular video is going to be huge. The other thing is, if you think this was good or this message needs to get out there and this channel needs to rip, because I really feel that it's pretty urgent. I think a lot of our first responders are in a lot worse shape than definitely what you think they are. And I think there's a lot more first responders somewhere that are in a very dark space that really need to have a coffee with somebody like myself right away. So please repost this or however it works on YouTube, because again, I'm one week roughly on YouTube here. I have no idea. I have some help with the channel because I don't know how to do YouTube. I'm just following after what I believe God has called me to do here. And that is something you will learn about me as well, as I love Jesus with all my heart and soul and mind. So whatever he calls me to do, I'll do. Not too far back, and you can go through my stuff. I gave someone a kidney. I just literally gave another firefighter my left kidney. I'm a living donor for another fireman, and I really feel that was a good summative of what it's like to radically follow somebody like Jesus in the vein of pure love. I knew this person was sick and said, here you go, you have my kidney. And there's a different movie I can link to that shares that story about kidney donation, which maybe you can watch for it on the channel. That one was pretty professionally done, so it's definitely not like this, where the phone's just propped up. But anyway, so need your feedback. Please let me know the goods, the bads, the uglies, whatever you want to say about this, and we're gonna go from here, from this moment, and see where the journey heads. Thanks for listening, and I hope that this had some positive impact. And no matter what, I hope if you're in struggle right now, that you feel like I could see you and that you needed this pick me up, then message me that this picked you up, because I care. I want to journey with you. And again, it's for everybody. Thanks for listening.